Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Morrowind. We are here in Rethan Manor, our very own stronghold. Super exciting still, it's not going to get old for quite some time. And we had recently finished some tasks from none other than Duke Vidam himself. Now the first task involved recovering a sacred artifact, the Robe of St. Roris, from a 6th house based named Asanamu, and that sort of bargain between House Lalu and the temple got the ordinators out of the Great House Lalu's business. The second task had to do with Duke Vidam brother, Orvis Dren, and sort of wresting control away from the Kimona Tong, and surprisingly, to us, in fact. Now, completing those two tasks basically inspired Duke Vidam to promote us to the head of the Great House Lalu. So if we look real quickly, yes indeed, we are now the Grand Master of Great House Lalu. And we had been doing some bit of errands around last time, and we forgot to level. So let's quickly go ahead and do that. You've ascended to level 50. The results of hard work and dedication always look like luck to saps, but you know you've earned every ounce of your success. Now you will note here that we had finished all of our physical and mental attributes and only have luck to consider from here on. So I'm excited about that, and that reminds me to take a quick look at the skills we have. We need to continue working on Marksman, and now we can probably go ahead and finish off Alchemy in a couple of sessions. And the skill that worries me most right now is Enchant, so we're going to have to be working on Enchant. So that also leads me to think about what to do next. As we look at our map here, we see we've gone pretty much, I would say 75% of the map is uncovered. We have this kind of gross area of the Ashlands in the northern region, west and north of Red Mountain. And we have sort of south of Red Mountain as well in the Molag Amor region. But other than that, we have pretty much good coverage over the map. So I think, as we have pretty much finished the quest lines for everywhere on the main Vardenfell district, I think it might be time to go back to the task that was given to us by Caius. So to do that, we are going to need to review a little bit. So sit at our desk here, and we're going to do a little bit of reading. So firstly, let's look at the Decoded Package given to us by Caius, which was given to Caius by the Emperor's Secretary. Spymaster Caius Cosades, Knight-Errant of the Imperial Order of Blades, Director of Imperial Intelligence in Vardenfell District, Eastern Provinces. I have the honor to acquaint you with His Majesty's wishes concerning Laevus, an individual of no rank or consequence. Laevus has been released from prison by His Majesty's authority and sent to you with this missive. Laevus is to be entered as a novice in the Imperial Order of the Blades, and is to serve under your absolute authority as you shall see fit, except insofar as His Majesty's particular wishes are concerned. His Majesty's particular wishes are as follows. A local superstition holds that an orphan and outcast, a youth born on a certain day to uncertain parents, shall unite all the tribes of the Dunmer, drive out the invaders of Morrowind, and shall re-establish the ancient laws and customs of the Dark Elven nations. This orphan and outcast is called in legend the Naravarine, and is supposed to be an reincarnation of the long-dead Dunmer general and first counselor, Lord Endoral Nerevar. Laevus has the appearance of meeting the conditions of this local superstition. Therefore it is His Majesty's desire that Laevus shall, insofar as is possible, satisfy the conditions of this ancient prophecy, and shall become the Nerevarine. Though this prophecy is indeed only an ancient local superstition, His Majesty has taken counsel on this matter with his most expert informants and confidants, and His Majesty is persuaded that the prophecy is genuine and significant, either in its entirety or in its several parts, and he earnestly demands you treat this matter with the utmost seriousness. Certain aspects of this ancient superstition are described at the end of this document, and further materials will be forthcoming by courier at the earliest occasion. It will of course be necessary that you acquaint yourself better with the details of this ancient superstition from your local sources. Since this matter intimately concerns Laevus, it is expected that you will employ Laevus to gather this information on the subject. His Majesty has taken a great personal interest in the legends and prophecies of the Nerevarine, and eagerly awaits your reports. I have the honor to be, Sir, your most humble and obedient servant, Galabrio Bellienus, personal secretary of the Emperor. So, that is our mission, according to Caius and the Emperor himself. Now, it might be a bit strange that the Emperor would be so enamored with this local superstition, but remember, the Emperor is of the dragon blood. He is not a mere human. He is pretty much has greater powers than any mere human, and his specialty seems to be in visions and things like that. So he probably has some premonition about this particular prophecy. Let's see. Hospitality papers. Okay, let's see. Nerevar Moon and Star. This is a selection from a series of monographs by various imperial scholars on Ashlander legends. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of outlanders from the west came to steal the land of the Dunmer. In that time, Nerevar was the great Khan and war leader of the house people. But he honored the ancient spirits and the tribal law, and became as one of us. So, when Nerevar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors, one clan under Moon and Star, to honor the ways of the spirits and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the house people to fight a great battle at Red Mountain. Though many Dunmer, tribesmen, and housemen died at Red Mountain, the Dwemer were defeated and their evil magics destroyed, and the outlanders driven from the land. But after this great victory, the power-hungry Khans of the great houses slew Nerevar in secret, and, setting themselves up as gods, neglected Nerevar's promises to the tribes. But it is said that the Nerevar will come again with his ring, and cast down the false gods, and by the power of his ring make good his promises to the tribes, to honor the spirits and drive the outsiders from the land. Okay, so this is from the perspective of the Ashlanders. And in their view, the Tribunal Temple, that is the three gods of the Tribunal Temple, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sothastil, slew Nerevar and took the power of the divine for themselves to rule over Morrowind. The real Nerevar. This Telvanni Retainer's Informal History of Nerevar lists no sources. When the Dunmer followed Veloth to Morrowind, they were many warring clans with no law or leader in common. One Dunmer warlord, Nerevar, had the ambition to rule all the Dunmer. In that time, House Dwemer were great enchanters, so Nerevar went in secret to a Dwemer smith and asked for an enchanted ring that would help him. The ring gave its wearer great powers of persuasion. For safety, it was enchanted to instantly kill anyone who wore it except Nerevar. The ring was called Moon and Star, and it helped Nerevar unite the various clans into the First Council. Later, however, disputes over religion divided the council, with House Dwemer and House Dagoth on one side, and all the other houses on the other. Dwemer and Dagoth invited Orc and Nord clans as allies and held northwest Morrowind, while Nerevar mustered the other houses and nomad tribes and marched to meet the Dwemer-Dagoth Westerner forces. The armies met at Red Mountain, a Dwemer stronghold. The Dwemer were defeated with great slaughter, and terrible sorceries were used, resulting in the utter extermination of House Dwemer, House Dagoth, and their allies. Nerevar was killed in the battle, and his ring lost, but Nerevar's alliance survives in Morrowind's ruling political institution, the Grand Council, which means to say the 5 great houses. Okay, so then we have other notes given to us by the dissident priests after we had rescued Merimilo from the Hall of Justice, or I'm sorry, the Ministry of Truth. 7 curses from the Apocrypha of the dissident priests, annotated by Gilvus Barello, Abbot of Olamayan. Through the doors of the unmourned house, where scoffers scoff and schemers scheme, from the halls of the oath-breaking house, rings 7 curses of gods blasphemed. First curse, curse of fire. Second curse, curse of ash. Third curse, curse of flesh. Fourth curse, curse of ghosts. Fifth curse, curse of seed. Sixth curse, curse of despair. Seventh curse, curse of dreams. And here is Gilvus Barello's notes. Lines 1 through 3 are ambiguous, may refer to the impiety of the god-mocking House Dwemer, or the treacherous diplomacy of the subtle House Dagoth, or both. House Dagoth, however, was reviled as oath-breaking for its treachery at Red Mountain. It may, however, refer to the unspecified broken oaths of peace between the Lord Nerevar and Lord Dumak, founders of the Grand Council. Nerevar and Dumak were loyal friends until the disagreements between the Dwemer and the other great houses broke out in open conflict. Line 4. The Dwemer were the mockers and profaners of the divine. Lines 5 through 6. The curses of fire and ash would come from Red Mountain, where Dagoth rules. These were the earliest reported threats from Red Mountain. Curse of flesh suggests blight diseases, especially Corpus. The fire and ash storms preceded the threats of blight and Corpus. Line 8 through 10, obscure, may refer to as yet unrecognized threats from Dagoth Line 11, recent reports of soul sickness and disturbed dreams come from townsfolk and Ashlanders alike. That the 7th and final curse has begun suggests the threat presented is about to reach a crisis. Seven visions. The 7 visions of the trials of the incarnate. These are the words of the prophecy called 7 visions of 7 trials of the incarnate. I wrote them down as she spoke them to me. 7 trials. What he puts his hand to, that shall be done. What is left undone, that shall be done. First trial. On a certain day to uncertain parents, incarnate moon and star reborn. Second trial. Neither blight nor age can harm him. The curse of flesh before him flies. Third trial. In caverns dark Azor's eye sees, and makes to shine the moon and star. Fourth trial. A stranger's voice unites the houses. 3 halls call him Hortator. Fifth trial. A stranger's hand unites the Velothi. 4 tribes call him Nerevarine. Sixth trial. He honors blood of the tribe unmourned. He eats their sin and is reborn. Seventh trial. His mercy frees the cursed false gods, binds the broken, redeems the mad. one destiny. He speaks for the law of Velos people. He speaks for the land and names them great. I took these notes, but I'm not going to pretend I know what they mean. Let's see. The stranger. These are the words of the prophecy called the stranger. I wrote them down as she spoke them to me. When earth is sundered and skies choked black, and sleepers serve the 7 curses, to the hearth there comes a stranger, journeyed far neath moon and star. Though stark-born to sire uncertain, his aspect marks his certain fate. Wicked stalk him, righteous curse him, prophets speak, but all deny. Many trials make manifest the stranger's fate, the curse's bane. Many touchstones try the stranger, many fall, but one remains. Again, I just wrote those down. I'm not going to pretend to know what they are. Let's see. Now, the Lost Prophecies. From the Apocrypha of the Dissident Priests, by Gilvis Barello, Abbot of Oamayan. From 7th sign of 11th generation, neither hound nor guar, nor seed nor harrow, but dragon-born and far star-marked, outlander incarnate beneath Red Mountain. Blessed guest counters 7 curses. Star-blessed hand wields thrice cursed blade, to reap the harvest of unmourned house. Of ancient family, but not of the 4 great Ashlander clans, born under foreign stars in the sign of the dragon, the imperial sign. Line 4 to 5, Outlander incarnate, appears as a formal epithet, stressing the linkage between the words. The Outlander incarnate is a blessed guest, one not born of the tribes, but accepted as a guest within rites of hearth and hospitality. Under Red Mountain, he will confront and balance against the 7 curses. See the 7 curses prophecy also. Dagoth is served by his 7 kin, once great wizard lords called Ash Vampires by the Ashlanders. Line 67. Star-blessed suggests Azura, the Daedra lord and patron of magic, fate, and prophecy. Thrice cursed blade may refer to a weapon called keening, associated in certain legends with the Battle of Red Mountain and Dwemer craftlord Kagranak. Reap the harvest is a reference to the proverb, you harvest from the seeds you plant, which means you get what your labors deserve, in both a positive sense of reward and a negative sense of punishment. The unmourned house could be either, or both, of the lost great houses of the Dunmer, House Dwemer, and House Dagoth. Okay, so what is the plan now? We are going to take all of these notes. We are here at the Odai Plateau, and make the trek all the way up here back to the Ursulaku camp, and hand all of our research and notes over to the Wise Woman there, and then we'll let her kind of sort out what comes next, if anything. Now, to get there, we are going to go to, let's see, Margan. And while we're going to the Ursulaku camp, we're going to do a bit of exploration along the way. So you can see there's a rather large foyada here, kind of streaming out of Red Mountain. We are going to explore this area, and then end up at the Ursulaku camp. So that is the plan, and we should do that next time. And until then, safe travels.